The entertainment world is rocked yet again as the FBI drops a bombshell, exposing shocking details about Diddy's alleged accomplices in a sprawling network of exploitation and cover-ups. This isn't just about one man, it's about an entire system of power players who may have helped keep his secrets hidden for decades. From music industry executives to Hollywood elites, new revelations suggest a network of complicity that could shake the entertainment industry to its core. But here's the kicker. These aren't just vague accusations. The FBI claims to have receipts, financial transactions, hidden communications, and testimonies linking some of the most powerful figures in the industry to Diddy's alleged operations. Who are these accomplices? What role did they play? And how far-reaching is this web of deceit? In today's video, we're diving into the specifics. We'll uncover the names being implicated, the evidence tying them to Diddy, and how non-disclosure agreements, gag orders, and hush money reportedly kept victims silent. We'll also explore the chilling testimonies of survivors and what these new discoveries mean for justice, not just for Diddy's victims, but for an industry long accused of enabling abuse.
The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that. But the names that we're going to name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock you.
Stay tuned, because the details we're revealing today could change how you see some of the biggest names in music and Hollywood. And trust me, you won't want to miss a single moment. The web of accomplices. How deep does it go? Diddy's reach within the music and entertainment industries has always been undeniable. However, recent FBI findings suggest that his alleged illegal activities were not carried out in isolation. Reports indicate that a network of accomplices, including prominent industry figures, may have played critical roles in enabling or covering up his crimes. These alleged collaborators include producers, executives, personal staff, and even other celebrities who helped maintain a culture of silence.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair. On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media. Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee. As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs.
Diddy is here in New York, in Manhattan. He apparently came here in anticipation that something like this might happen. What should we understand about what that might mean? It could very well be that this is a federal arrest being processed here in New York.
So, Abby, there are some important things we do not know, including the specific charges that have been lodged against Sean Combs. But there are some really important things we do know. First of all, based on the attorney's statement, based on our reporting, this is a federal prosecution. It's not a state prosecution. The fact that he's being processed in Manhattan tells me that's the Southern District of New York. That's consistent with the reporting that the Southern District of New York had been handling this case. That's the office I used to work at. That's an office that sort of specializes in high stakes cases. Just in the last year or so, Southern District of New York, just as an example, has successfully prosecuted Sam Bankman-Fried, Senator Robert Menendez. The other thing that we do know is a grand jury has indicted Sean Combs, meaning they found probable cause that he committed at least one federal crime. Now, as to what happens next, there will be, likely tomorrow or within the next couple days, but usually in the SDNY, you try to do it the next day, there will be an arraignment, meaning Sean Combs will appear in court with his lawyers. There are no cameras in federal court. He will be advised of the charges against him, and he will almost certainly enter a not guilty plea. But the key thing to watch for is then we'll have the question of bail. Will prosecutors agree to let him out on bail? Will prosecutors ask the judge to lock him up pending trial? That could end up in a contentious argument. So these are things that are going to play out over the next 24 or 48 hours. And
These individuals are said to have provided logistical support for Diddy's operations, including organizing events, managing finances, and intimidating potential whistleblowers. Some are accused of turning a blind eye to questionable activities, while others are alleged to have actively facilitated them. By leveraging their own influence and resources, these accomplices reportedly helped Diddy operate in secrecy for decades.
Next tonight here, new and disturbing accusations against Sean Diddy Combs. A Texas attorney tonight says he now represents 120 alleged victims, men and women, whose allegations span more than 30 years. The accounts of the alleged victims have not been fully vetted, but their accusations involve the kind of drug-fueled alleged sexual assaults described in a dozen civil lawsuits and the criminal case against Combs. Combs has pleaded not guilty to federal charges. His attorney tonight saying Combs emphatically denies any claim that he sexually abused anyone.
The scope of this network has become clearer as the FBI's investigation progresses. Investigators have revealed a pattern of coordination that points to systemic abuse of power and exploitation. If the allegations are proven, the fallout could implicate some of the biggest names in entertainment and force a reckoning within the industry. The extent of the complicity, if true, raises serious questions about how these crimes went unnoticed for so long. Who are the industry figures implicated, and what roles did they play in enabling Diddy's alleged crimes? The FBI's bombshell evidence, receipts, and revelations. The FBI's investigation into Diddy has uncovered a wealth of evidence, shedding new light on allegations that have haunted his career for years. Among the most shocking revelations are what investigators are calling receipts, a collection of financial records, communications, and other documents that reportedly link Diddy to illegal activities. These findings not only implicate Diddy, but also point to a network of individuals who may have supported or participated in these actions.
He believes he's innocent. I believe he's innocent.
Diddy's attorney revealing the worst thing about jail for the rapper. According to People magazine, his lawyer said, quote, "I think the food's probably the roughest part of it."
The meals are supposed to be nutritionally balanced and edible. He would receive 3 meals per day, very basic meal expectations.
Diddy's new diet going on more than 3 weeks behind bars. The New York Post reports he was served Swedish meatballs after pleading not guilty to his charges for sex trafficking and racketeering.
He will have his meals delivered to him. He would not go to a dining hall in a high-rise like the MDC Brooklyn. The correctional officer on the unit delivers them to the detainee or the inmate.
You guys have any comment going into court? How's he doing?
That's Diddy's 6 eldest children supporting their dad at court on Thursday. The media mogul's mother, Janice, was alongside her grandkids, but it's not their first public sign of support. Last week, ET learned Janice and twins Delilah and Jesse spent time at Diddy's Brooklyn Detention Center.
I'm an extreme mama's boy.
We're told Diddy was able to hug his mom and daughters in the supervised visit. And with his request for bail denied, it's the new normal leading up to his trial starting May 5th.
He would be locked in that cell 23 hours a day. There will be a bed. There will probably be a steel toilet with no seat on it, 3 showers a week. My advice would be keep quiet, keep to yourself. It has to be more of a culture shock than anything else.
He has been ready to defend this case since he first found out about this case, and we're going to fight this case with all of our might until we don't have to fight any longer.
Some of the most compelling pieces of evidence include payment records showing transactions to staff and associates allegedly used to silence victims or cover up crimes. Additionally, email chains and text messages reportedly document coordination between Diddy and others to organize events where illicit activities took place. There are even reports of video footage and photographs seized during raids, which could serve as critical evidence in upcoming trials. The breadth of this evidence has reportedly bolstered the FBI's case, making it increasingly difficult for Diddy and his associates to deny their involvement. Legal analysts believe this evidence could not only result in convictions, but also expose a culture of complicity within the entertainment industry. These findings could pave the way for additional investigations and charges. What kind of receipts does the FBI have, and how strong is their case against Diddy and his network? NDAs, gag orders, and secrets, how the truth stayed hidden. For decades, Diddy and his alleged accomplices managed to keep their secrets hidden, thanks in large part to the use of NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, and gag orders. These legal tools have been widely criticized as mechanisms to silence victims and shield perpetrators from accountability. In Diddy's case, it is alleged that NDAs were frequently used to prevent victims and witnesses from coming forward with their stories.
My name is Tony Busby. I'm a lawyer here in Houston. I'm licensed in Texas and in New York. And I'll introduce other members of our team as they speak. As many of you know, our law firm has been at the forefront of some of the most important litigation in the United States. We like the tough cases. We thrive in the complicated cases. We've handled over the last 25 years some very big and very important cases. I believe that this one may surpass them all. There are many facets to this. The conduct we will describe today occurred over more than 20 years. There are many people and many entities involved. And we're going to follow this evidence wherever it takes us. We will find the silent accomplices. We will expose the enablers who enabled this conduct behind closed doors. We will pursue this matter no matter who the evidence implicates. These brave victims who have stepped forward deserve nothing less. The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us, with people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs. After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases.
Reports suggest that NDAs were often signed under duress, with individuals fearing retaliation or financial ruin if they refused. Many victims claimed they were misled about the implications of these agreements, believing they were signing routine contracts rather than being silenced. Gag orders also reportedly extended to employees and insiders, ensuring that no one could leak information about Diddy's parties or other activities.
The violation I have experienced during the assault has had lasting effects on my body, causing ongoing health problems and complications. The combination of physical and emotional pain has created a cycle of suffering from which it is so hard to break free. I want to continue on this journey towards recovery and healing. I'm glad that he is locked up, but that's a temporary feeling of relief.
Recent legal challenges have sought to invalidate these NDAs. particularly in cases involving allegations of criminal behavior. Victims and their advocates argue that such agreements should not be enforceable when they are used to cover up abuse. If courts agree, it could open the floodgates for more testimonies and expose even deeper layers of misconduct. How did NDAs and gag orders help protect Diddy and his alleged accomplices, and can they be overturned in court?
And you should know, to the extent the clients feel comfortable, we also intend to make these individuals available to the authorities, specifically to the FBI. And you should also know a few of them have already been spoken to by the FBI. Now, before we discuss the nature of the claims and claimants themselves, let me comment on the large volume of calls we have received since our first announcement. Even before the indictment of Sean Combs, we had received a small volume of calls and had screened a handful of cases. After the indictment of Sean Combs and the announcement that we were pursuing these claims, the floodgates opened. People who wouldn't otherwise, for a variety of reasons, are now stepping forward to make their voices heard and to pursue justice. But no, most of these people are scared. They fear backlash in their communities. They fear backlash in their own families. They are afraid of retaliation from the perpetrators and their associates. They are rightly afraid for their own personal safety. I expect that through this process, many powerful people will be exposed. Many dirty secrets will be revealed. We know what we are potentially up against. And as is always the case in situations like this, when a celebrity is involved, people can be downright mean and nasty. You would be shocked at the length fans will go, no matter the evidence to the contrary, to defend celebrities they love.
The celebrity connection, A-list involvement in Diddy's parties. Diddy's lavish parties have always been synonymous with Hollywood glamour, attracting A-list celebrities from the worlds of music, film, and fashion. However, new allegations suggest these events were more than just extravagant gatherings. Reports indicate that high-profile attendees may have been complicit in or witnesses to illegal activities, ranging from exploitation to trafficking.
It wasn't even for Diddy because he booked the Sean John campaign, so he was telling me, be nice to Diddy so I can make sure I keep the campaign going, because Diddy asked to suck his and he didn't do it. He was an LA nigga. He didn't do it, and so Diddy only hired me because I was additional whatever. I mean, only hired me on it, but he didn't want to hire him on the Sean John campaign until I agreed to do the white parties.
Oh, okay. Now we're gonna definitely say allegedly. I wasn't there.
Allegedly,
okay,
yes.
Cool.
Allegedly,
all right.
yes,
And you're
yes.
saying Diddy allegedly asked your ex-boyfriend?
I was there at the audition. We were in the waiting room.
Okay.
And we were waiting. One of his homeboys that had been in our apartment several times came out rushing mad. Like, what the f-? He was like, I'll talk to you later. He rushed to the elevator. We sit in the lobby like, what? And he was like, I'll talk to you later. He was like, whatever. Long story short, my ex, Anthony Gallo, goes in the room and he comes out yelling, fuck that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, I'll talk to you in the elevator. And we get to the elevator. He's like, nigga tried to ask me to suck his dick. I said, who asked you to suck his dick? He said, Diddy. I said, fuck that. But then after that, he booked him anyway because I agreed to dance at the white parties.
So how did the conversation come up about you dancing at the white parties?
Tamiko, the light-skinned girl in the pictures, the light skin with the Asian eyes, she was the one coordinating everything. I was in the Go-Go Network because I worked at Larry Flynt's Hustler Club. I was in the Go-Go Network already. So by Anthony having me at the, I was already his girlfriend, but it was like he got the hottest chick on his side at the interview. Okay. So even though he refused to suck a dick, he got Sasha in the lobby. So he ended up booking it anyway.
Okay.
Adria English's explosive interview has brought several big names into the spotlight, claiming they were involved in or aware of the misconduct at Diddy's parties. While some celebrities have denied any involvement, the allegations have sparked widespread speculation and scrutiny. Critics argue that even passive attendance at such events raises questions about complicity. The fallout from these allegations could be significant, with potential legal repercussions for those found to have participated in or enabled illegal activities. Public opinion has already begun to shift, with many questioning the ethics of the entertainment industry and calling for greater accountability among its most famous figures. Which celebrities are accused of being involved, and what evidence supports these allegations? Alleged co-conspirators, the legal fallout. As the FBI's investigation expands, the spotlight is turning toward Diddy's alleged co-conspirators. These individuals, many of whom are said to hold significant power in the entertainment industry, are accused of facilitating or covering up crimes. Their roles reportedly range from organizing events and managing finances to intimidating witnesses and silencing victims. Legal analysts predict that accomplices could face a range of charges, including conspiracy, obstruction of justice, and aiding and abetting trafficking. Prosecutors are reportedly building cases against several individuals, using the evidence collected during the investigation to establish their involvement. The consequences for those implicated could extend beyond the courtroom. Being tied to such allegations could result in reputational damage, loss of endorsements, and ostracization from the industry. Some insiders believe that the fallout from this case could rival other high-profile scandals, marking a turning point for accountability in entertainment. Could Diddy's industry allies face the same legal scrutiny and consequences he is currently under? Financial ties and cover-ups. Following the money. One of the most telling aspects of the FBI's investigation is the financial trail allegedly tied to Diddy's operations. Investigators are scrutinizing records of transactions that appear to fund or conceal illegal activities. These include payments to staff and associates who allegedly helped orchestrate events or silence victims. Reports suggest that shell companies, offshore accounts, and undisclosed payments were used to mask the true nature of these transactions. By tracing the money trail, investigators hope to uncover the full extent of the network involved and establish accountability for those who participated in cover-ups. Financial evidence is often considered one of the most reliable forms of proof in legal cases, and analysts believe it could play a key role in securing convictions. The findings could also expose systemic issues within the entertainment industry, where financial mechanisms are sometimes used to protect powerful figures from scrutiny. How does following the money trail expose a larger conspiracy and implicate more individuals? Victims' voices, stories of exploitation and betrayal. The most compelling aspect of this investigation is the testimonies from victims who have bravely come forward. These individuals describe harrowing experiences of exploitation and betrayal, painting a picture of a system that prioritized profit and power over their well-being. Many victims claim they were lured into Diddy's circle with promises of fame and success, only to find themselves trapped in abusive situations. Some describe being manipulated by individuals they trusted, including industry insiders who allegedly facilitated or enabled their exploitation. Despite the fear of retaliation, these survivors are speaking out, driven by a desire for justice and accountability. Their voices are shaping public perception and providing critical evidence for the ongoing investigation. Advocates hope their courage will inspire others to come forward and expose similar abuses. What do the victims' stories reveal about the involvement of Diddy's alleged accomplices? Legal maneuvering. Diddy's team fights back. Diddy's legal team has mounted an aggressive defense, accusing the FBI of overreach and misconduct. They argue that some evidence was obtained illegally, potentially violating Diddy's constitutional rights. This strategy aims to discredit the prosecution and weaken its case. The defense has also questioned the credibility of witnesses, suggesting that some testimonies are motivated by financial gain or personal vendettas. These tactics are common in high-profile cases, but critics argue they risk undermining the voices of survivors. Despite these efforts, prosecutors remain confident in their case, citing the strength of their evidence and the consistency of victim testimonies. The legal battle ahead will be pivotal in determining whether justice is served. How is Diddy's legal team responding to the FBI's findings, and could their strategies derail the case? Hollywood and music executives. Will accountability prevail? The entertainment industry has long faced criticism for enabling abuse and exploitation, but this case could be a turning point. The investigation into Diddy's alleged network has reignited calls for systemic change, with many demanding greater accountability for powerful figures. Executives and insiders who ignored or facilitated misconduct may now face consequences. Public pressure is mounting, with fans, activists, and industry leaders calling for transparency and reform. If successful, this case could set a precedent for holding high-profile individuals accountable, potentially reshaping the culture of the entertainment industry. Advocates hope it will inspire other victims to come forward and demand justice. Could this investigation bring lasting change to Hollywood and the music industry? What's next? The road to justice. As the FBI's investigation continues, more revelations and legal actions are expected. Prosecutors are reportedly preparing for further indictments, while victims and their advocates push for systemic reforms. The upcoming court proceedings will be critical in determining the outcome of this case. For the victims, it represents an opportunity for closure and accountability. For the industry, it's a chance to confront its darker side and commit to meaningful change. The implications of this case extend beyond Hollywood, highlighting broader societal issues of power, privilege, and justice. Whether it leads to lasting change remains to be seen, but it has already sparked a long overdue conversation. What does the future hold for Diddy, his alleged accomplices, and the victims seeking justice? We've just unpacked some of the most explosive revelations yet in the ongoing investigation into Diddy and his alleged accomplices. From the powerful names tied to his network to the evidence the FBI is using to connect the dots, it's clear this story goes far deeper than anyone imagined. And let's not forget the courageous survivors who are stepping forward despite the odds to ensure the truth is heard. This case isn't just about Diddy. It's about exposing the systemic issues that have plagued the entertainment industry for years. It's about holding not only one person, but an entire network of enablers accountable. With the FBI's findings, we may finally see a moment of reckoning for an industry that has too often ignored its dark underbelly. But what do you think? Will this case be the turning point Hollywood desperately needs? Or will the powerful figures implicated manage to escape accountability? Let us know in the comments. We want to hear your thoughts. If you found today's video insightful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more updates on this developing story. Your support helps us keep bringing you the truth behind the headlines. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.